Hey, how about my locker, Mick? I ain't got no locker. Today we're going to talk about accepting your limitations and working on positive growth. I have struggled, I don't know why, my whole life. I don't know why. But you know what? I really believe part of my problem is I don't accept the fact that I am limited. I'm not Superman. I don't have a cape. I don't fly. Do you? Anyway, embrace what you're good at, and you know you're good at, and you're confident you're good at, and work on that, and focus on that, and share that. And if you're not good at something, don't beat yourself up over it. Okay? I had an autistic brother growing up. Prime example. And those of you that don't really understand autism, the best description I ever heard was it's a social disorder. And I guess that basically means that you don't have you're never going to really have the full capacity to relate to other people. But now that experts are working on autism, I'm seeing autism people with autism go farther than they ever thought they would. My brother, Patty, they said he was medial functioning, and that he would never have the mental capacity of anybody older than 13. Well, I haven't talked to him in a long time, but maybe 8-9 years ago we lost touch because I just moved to my new hometown, my new town, and lived with my wife and stuff. But you know what? He met a girl. Well, he always knew the girl. The girl had designs on another person in the same family, and when that didn't pan out, she started spending time with Patty. And I don't know how, but love is an amazing thing. They are still together as we speak. I'm pretty sure they're still together. And she has made him more than anyone ever thought he'd be. Yeah, seriously. I'm pretty sure they're still together. And they said that he would never be out, had the mental capacity of a 13-year-old. He's in a serious adult relationship. He's now, as far as she has a good job, so he basically is a house husband. But that's all she needed. She wasn't materialistic. She just wanted to be happy with someone, and she's happy with my autistic brother. I love that. I think that's an amazing story about how you can reach. He focused on what he was good at. He can run a house. He focuses on that. I mean, his house. My wife is an amazingly hard-working person. She keeps the house running, and she works a full-time job. And that's, to me, that's just great. But my brother, he's the government, because he was never going to be able to hold down a job. Obviously, the government takes care of him. He gets a disability check. I don't know how much it is worth because he's never worked. I think they base your disability on your last job, and he's never had a job. So I don't know how that works. They give him money because he's disabled. But he's not so disabled that he can't have an intimate relationship with somebody that's willing to dive into his mind and his heart and pull the best part of him out. And they're still together because he focuses on what he's good at. I remember in our childhood, I'm 55, and he's 54, and I have a brother that's gone now that was the other way around. No, he's 53. Yeah. And Glanville was 54, and I'm 55. And I remember when we were kids, the whole breakdancing thing was a big deal when we were teenagers. And you would see these kids put cardboard on the ground outside and spin on their head and do the caterpillar and moonwalk. And my brother invented moves. He would climb up a wall, or he would just do amazing things that made it all part of his dance act, and he had rhythm. I don't have rhythm in my brushing my hair, let alone dancing. But Patty could break dance, and he got so good at it. He would like they sent him to he went to a special school for a while, but my mother didn't want to limit him, so they sent him to, this is another story about, but because he came into the public school system with me, I stopped being a bully. I was a bully for a minute, and I still beat myself up with that. I picked on people that were less fortunate than because I was a cute jock, a smart jock guy, and I was witty, and I made fun of people that were chubby or special or different. But it didn't work with I couldn't look out for my brother and be that person, so I had to change that, and that's part of why I stopped hanging out with, even though I never quit sports. I quit hanging out with athletes because that's what they were doing back then. Athletes picked on people less just to be popular or fit in. So my brother, he entered this public school system, and he won in like 10th grade. He when I was in 11th, he entered the public school system at 10th grade. Yet he tested fine. His academics were right there on par, and so he tested. He was able to, but it was a social disorder. He didn't fit in. But you know what? When we had talent shows in high school, he'd win. Yeah, he'd get up on there and turn on whatever. He could dance. He could do. I remember when I was in 11th and he was in 10th, the first talent show we had, he did the whole something by Michael Jackson. I don't know whether it was the Thriller video or whatever, but he was able to do the whole thing with the crotch and the leg and the hat. My mom got him back then you couldn't get on Amazon and buy the whole outfit, so she looked for it for him, and she came up with a hat, the gloves, and the sunglasses, and the red. She bought the jacket through a friend because she was in advertising that actually had that jacket, a replica of it, and so he went on there with the gloves and everything. He didn't have the hair, of course, because he's a weirdo, but he did the whole dance and won. You know, he found something he was good at, and he did it. And he would focus on it. He never stopped dancing. He never stopped. As far as I know, the last time I heard, he's still dancing. And that's part of why Danny loved him so much. That's his significant other, is that he could dance. And my brother and I have one thing in common. We both fell for a Latina. Danny is a Latina. My wife is a Latina. Talk about the best women in the world, man. They cook and they love their man, and they're loyal, and they just amazing women, just amazing. All the respect in the world. But anyway, he's still dancing. But now, the last time I checked, 9 years ago, she was just thrilled that every time she came home to their apartment. They live in D.C. The last time I checked, they lived in D.C. She's in law. I don't know what she does in law, but she does something in law. But anyway, she would come home to the apartment, and it was spotless. I'm a slob. I do it's the best I can to get up and clean the cat boxes every day and take the trash out. My wife, I feel sorry for her, but she's finally accepted the fact that I'm never going to be her in the house. Now, occasionally I'll take on if I feel like she's going to appreciate it, I'll take on a special task. Like last year, I built an awning outside, and I dug up all the grass, because grass is not growing in Laredo. Weeds grow in Laredo. And I did all that, and I dug the whole mountain of weeds and tree trunks and tree roots. Spent weeks on that. But my brother is consistent every single day. Like I said, last time I checked, I don't know. I'm sure they're still together. I would have heard something through the grapevine. They're probably married for all I know. But but besides that, she was able to get to his heart where no one else could. Even his family couldn't get to his heart, but Danny got to his heart. And so, I guess when he focuses on something, other things start to surface, like his ability to love someone else. And they said he would only ever have the mental capacity of a 13-year-old. I think it's awe-inspiring to me that he's there. Me? What am I good at? I love my wife. I'm good at talking. Obviously, I hope that this video blossoms. I got a buddy that's going to come on with me. Let's call him Fred. Fred is going to come on with me when I reach a certain number of subscribers. So please subscribe. And I'm just going to keep honing away at this and just doing what I'm good at. And that's, I speak well. I'm enthusiastic. I do voices. But I'm just gonna keep on honing it and honing it and honing it and honing it and honing it until I get it. And when I get it, there I'll be. But basically, maybe that's it. Maybe this is gonna be what I'm gonna focus on. And if my channel grows, I hope it does. If my channel grows to a healthy subscriber base, and I have some kind of a monetary compensation, because right now, trust me, I'm not making anything on this. And that's not why I'm doing it either. I'm doing it because I need an outlet. I'm considered to be too talkative here where I live. So I need an outlet. I need someplace to talk, because obviously I can talk. Now, a couple of my friends here where I live welcome my conversation, and those are my truest friends. But my wife, I love her with all my heart, man. My wife is my heart. But she's been with me for 16 years. She really doesn't want to listen to me ramble on anymore. She's tired of listening to me, and I don't blame her. That's never been her cup of tea. She's never been Mrs. Chattybox. She's got a TikTok channel, and she's great at that. I mean, I've never seen that's her thing. I don't know how she does it, but she's able to lip sync with such articulation and timing that it looks like she's the one that's making whatever vocal styling vocalize, and she's great at it. She can, and then on top of that, she's able to find and create new videos with her editing skills that just blow my mind. And unfortunately, he who employs me has requested that I've learned that when you are fortunate enough to get a really, really good position, if your boss just nicely requests that you stop doing something, you might as well accept that as an order. Now, he didn't say you can only have two Facebook accounts or two social media accounts. Now, I can have Facebook because I really don't do anything. I share my YouTube on there, but other than that, I don't do a whole lot. Maybe I'll go comment on a few posts, but with TikTok, I was actively doing stuff, and he said I would really appreciate it if you would just focus on one and not do both. So I deactivated my TikTok account because he's just been phenomenal with me. He's saved my butt. He got me in a special lease program with my credit, even though it's not the greatest, and I'm working on it. I am working on my credit. Beyond Finance, shout out. Beyond Finance, accredited. You want to fix your credit? Use Beyond Finance. Anyway, my credit isn't the greatest, and he gave me the keys to a leasing program. I just have to save up a certain amount of money, and then I can get a lease on a vehicle. I'm 55. I don't need another move. Right now, I'm also simultaneously, I'm investing in fixing up our old truck, because our other truck, was hit by an uninsured motorist, and we lost it. Only here. But I guess the point I'm trying to get to is you find out what you're best at and focus on it. And don't worry about everything else. If you're not good at it, or it's just something you do adequately, well, then don't worry about it. Everything else will come in time. It will come in time. I firmly believe that you'll realize what that is when you get to maybe the middle of your teenage years. You're like, I really am good at this, and in your heart and your gut what you're good at, and polish that. Because if you're good at it and you polish it, you're going to become the best at it. It's like I'm a funeral director and an embalmer, and when I was learning the art of embalming and restorative art, I'm a little bit uncoordinated. But once I learned something, I could see it in my head. But I got 3 left feet, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. But I had a passion for it. I still do, and I probably always will love being a funeral director. Class of 2001, Dallas Funeral Services. I was the Tyler on the academic fraternity. Shout out to Mr. Whitaker and Mr. Shoemake and Mr. Nowhere. Hey guys. But once I finally started, I had a gentleman that was one of the directors. I actually saw him they had him in one of these videos on JFK because he was in the military at the time, and he had something to do with his autopsy and his embalming, and he was one of 4 or 5 funeral directors assigned to the preparation and disposition of John F. Kennedy. I am 55, so do the math, it works. And he was a little old, he was quite a bit older than I am. His name was John Stair. John Stair taught me embalming to where I could get through it, but he taught me methods that I could apply to the art of embalming, and I just was so fascinated and interested in it. That's something else. If you're not naturally good at something, but you have a passion for it, you can become good at it. This is a different way to focus on that. Okay, the first one, of course, let's go back over it. The first one is realize what you're naturally good at and polish it and hone it and become the best at it. The second one is, if you really aren't good at something, but you're passionate about it, you're fascinated by it, then seek it out. If it's something you truly, truly, truly have a passion for, and you want to become the best at it, or you want to be able to do it, let's not even worry about the best yet. You want to be able to do it. You have to, and you have a passion and a fascination for it, you can do it. And I remember when the first time I saw an autopsy, I went home and had a nightmare. I'm not going to give graphics on this channel because that's not what this is about. But I went home and had a nightmare. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I could do this. And autopsies don't happen every day, and most autopsies wind up cremated or direct disposition, which is where you don't even embalm them. You put them in the cheapest casket available, and you put them in a pauper's graveyard. But occasionally, you'll have an autopsy where you have to embalm it because the family insists upon an open casket viewing. So I finally got good at that. John Stair reached inside me and taught me. He has his own set of skills, but it's like he was able to look at me and see what I was good at, and he taught me. John Stair, I love you, man. He was in the military. He was just like me. It was very ironic that we met, and he was the director that apprenticed me at the funeral home that I did my apprenticeship at in Irving, Texas. But he had this gift that he was able to look at somebody and talk to somebody and see how to cultivate their abilities that are already there to teach them to do what they want to do. And I loved embalming. I love it. I got over the whole autopsy thing. And thanks to John Stair, I got it. And then I kept working on it and kept working on it and kept working on it and kept working on it. I was watching Married at First Sight last night, and this girl was talking about how she wasn't the best soccer player, but her dad never gave up on her, and she became the team captain and became one of the best at it. Same thing with me. I wasn't very good at it, but had a fascination for it. And John Stair saw I was able to do it well enough where I was able to maintain my position in the military. But I became a really, really good embalmer because of John Stair teaching me. And he's like, he was a weird guy. He would come in there to the embalming lab eating a bologna sandwich. But anyway, little, FYI. TMI. And he's like, he would ask me questions and he would make me see, but the questions he asked me, he made me see the application so I could do embalming. And thanks to John Stair today, I got an award for reaching the highest NCO rank ever for my NCO rank for my MOS. I made it up to E9, Command Sergeant Major. And I was recognized for it and presented an award. But I would have never gotten there if John Stair wouldn't have seen in me what I didn't see in myself. So you're either born with it or you're fascinated by it. But if you're not fascinated by it and you're not born with it, don't worry about it. Seriously. So I'm a good speaker. I remember in ethics class, I didn't even study or prepare my paper. I did it the morning of because there was mortuary school is very hard. They throw tests at you constantly. It's very hard because you have to study for all these things in advance. And ethics class came in naturally to me. I prepared my ethics speech. I didn't even. I just wrote it all out and then I like ad libbed because he told you, don't read word for word. It's like he almost knew we were gonna do this. But I prepared my ethics speech the day of and I got 100 on it. I mean, and you had to do a video. They gave you a video on it. I got 100 on it because I'm a good speaker. And I know that already. And hopefully with this channel, I'll be able to become really, really good at it and better and better and better. Who knows? Maybe one of these days I'll have, 10,000 subscribers. Right now I've got 9. Maybe I'll have 9,000 subscribers or 900 or 90 or 19. But when I get to 25, I've got a very special, talented friend of mine. He might even come and play his bass. I might ask him to do that. But we're going to talk about in my day. Anyway, you're fascinated by it or you're born with it. Focus on it. If you like what I had to say today, feel free to encourage me, and I'll keep on doing what I did to get encouraged. And if you want to criticize me, go ahead, and I'll work on it. But either way, please subscribe. And let's vote straight Democrat. Let's get these criminals out of office. They're not doing any of us any good. I hope y'all listened to King Charles' speech yesterday. He kind of put the FOOP in his place. Thank you, King Charles, our buddies across the pond. Go Ukraine! Love you guys. And I'll talk to you tomorrow.